Thank you. All right. So for this internship, our project mandate will be rebuilding PrimeSoft and its businesses using Agile Scrum methodology. Yes. So the aim of the project, the objective of this project is to reconstruct and enhance PrimeSoft. So PrimeSoft is a big data consulting company along with its associate businesses. And this will achieve using the Agile Scrum methodology, which we have learned, which we just learned yesterday. We're going to build PrimeSoft from scratch and all its businesses. And I know the big question is, okay, so what are the businesses in PrimeSoft? So let's find out. All right, this is the scope of the projects. So the first one is reconstruction of PrimeSoft. The PrimeSoft, as you see it, you're going to rebuild it. So you're going to enhance the infrastructure. What is existing right now, you're going to enhance it. You're going to enhance the processes and services of PrimeSoft. And the focus is on big data consulting services because that is the business of PrimeSoft. And who are the cross-functional team that will be building this? It's the developer, the QA, and the BA. These are the ones that will be on these particular projects. The next is development of the learning management system, which is the platform where the interns come in, acquire a certain knowledge, depending on what they want, and go out there and show the world what they've got. That is part of PrimeSoft's business. And it is what you are going to be building. And everyone is going to be part of this team. All the cross-functional team will be part of this team. So yes, let's move on. Number 3 is develop multiple dashboards, because this is a DA-only project. So this dashboard, you're meant to design and develop multiple dashboards across multiple industries. So we're going to have at least 5 industries we're going to work on: healthcare, retail, and so many other industries we're going to work on. In the course of doing it, you're going to use SQL, you're going to use Excel, you will use Power BI in the course of doing all these things. And in the long run, you would have built up to 20 projects. In the course of doing this, you would have built up to 20 projects, plus the big projects, the one we call capstone project, because that's different. That's going to be a very big one for you. All right, so the next is, this last one is, if we are able to meet up, we are going to do this last one. Yes, and hopefully we'll be able to meet up. So I hope everyone sits up. This is building and optimizing an AI bot to efficiently capture client conversation, store user information, and log interactions in Google Sheets. So what it does is, you come to PrimeSoft as a client, you have conversation with the bot. The bot gets what you want and stores your data, those conversations in a Google Sheet or in Excel. But at this point, we're going to use Google Sheets. That's what it's going to do. It's going to take a lot of so in it some very sensitive work, which will be done by the developer with the help of developer and the DA. Then the BA will be enhancing, going out there to elicit requirements. The QA will be testing the whole process. And in it, it's AI, like we said. So you're going to have a lot of machine learning models built behind it that runs the whole application. So these 4 things are what we do. So in these 4 things, each team, each person will participate in at least 3 of these four PrimeSoft businesses. Each person will participate in at least 3 of them. And please, it's going to be very intense. So I encourage us to be up and doing, be up for it. By the time you're done, you will beat your chest and say, bring on the job. That's what you will tell yourself. So the key deliverables in this is you're going to have a refined and upgraded PrimeSoft platform equipped with enhanced big data consulting services. Then the next is you revamp the learning management system as we see it today, which is capable of effectively training students in various professional domains, including the one we are offering and much more. Yes, we have a lot in mind we can offer, but we are now depending on you to help us build that. That is your project mandate. Another one is deliverable is the enhanced functionalities and efficiency of the AI bots for seamless client interaction and data management. The roles and responsibilities are the product owner will oversee the vision, prioritize the features, and ensure alignment with business goals. The Scrum Master will facilitate agile ceremony, remove impediments, and ensure adherence to agile principles. The development team, which involves the data analyst, the business analyst, the software developer, will execute tasks related to building PrimeSoft, learning management system, and AI bot based on user stories and priorities. Then the QA, the quality assurance analyst or engineer, will conduct testing, ensure product quality, and validate functionality. All right. So here in the timeline, we have that this will conduct weekly, 2 weekly sprints, like we told you yesterday. Execution of sprints, we conduct daily stand-up, development, and a regular sprint review to track progress, just like we did today. Continuous integration and testing, ensure ongoing integration and rigorous testing within each sprint. That's the QA. And the BA. Sprint retrospective review, that's for everyone. Review and improve processes based on sprint outcomes for continuous enhancement. And this project timeline will be 11 weeks. You know we succeeded in this project. There will be deliverables. Define specifications and quality standards. High stakeholder satisfaction and positive user feedback. Adherence to project timelines and budgetary constraints. Yes, there is always budgetary constraints, and it is the duty of the BA and the PO to ensure that we are within the budgets. Improve efficiency and functionalities of PrimeSoft LMS, its LMS, and its AI bots. And voila, that is the end. Question time, guys. Question time.
I think you need to go over it again. For me, it just looked so fast, and the next thing we are talking about question.
Okay. It was actually a project mandate. It was not teaching. So we'll always have access to this. Yes, we always have access to this. But it is a project mandate. So even as it is, we also share the link we will also share the link so that you will have access to the presentation, but you won't be able to download it. Sorry. But you have access to viewing it, view only access. So that you follow up what is in there. Any other question?
I wanted to ask about the 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks for each project or 2 weeks to complete a number of projects? Because here we have only 11 weeks. I will be doing up to like 20 projects within the 11 weeks. So
All right.
how is it going to be shared so that I'm able to complete everything by the end of this internship?
All right. So for the weekly sprints, within a weekly sprint, the QA, the developer, and and the BA who are building the client-facing app of PrimeSoft will be delivering tasks, the stories written on the back on the PBI. The same way, the data analyst will also be carrying out the story, building out the story that is also written in their own backlog, which they will actually be writing themselves. They will also be executing those tasks too. So in the course of a 2-weekly sprint, a data analyst would have completed up to 2 weeks, up to at least 2 projects. So you have to be up to it. So don't worry, you will see everything in the timetable as it flows. And the way it works is that every module has an activity to do, which is a project. And that project, you're definitely it's going to be part of your portfolio. Are you with me? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does.
All right. So in this, your work has started. There will be meeting for requirement gathering. Can we please, yeah, thank you. So there will be meeting for requirement gathering. The BAs and the DAs, business analysts and data analysts, we will call you for requirement gathering. And we don't do the requirement gathering during our gathering. We do it outside our normal meeting. So during the requirement gathering, the BAs and DAs will come to the PO and elicit requirement about this project. We've already told you what the project is. So you're going to elicit requirements and start writing stories, start building populating your board immediately and start building. Because in sprint 1 will come in 2 weeks time. Yes, in 2 weeks time, sprint 1 will start. And when that sprint 1 starts, the QAs will start testing what you have. The developers will start building what the story you have written, and the QAs will start testing. Like work would have started. So as a matter of fact, what really happens is that the business analysts work ahead of the sprint. That's the standard. So if we are going to sprint 10 next week, on sprint 9, the BA would have written a story. These are stories that will be developed on sprint 10. So you work ahead of the sprint. That is why we have the sprint 0. In the real world, there's nothing like sprint 0. There's no such thing like sprint 0. It usually starts from sprint 1. But you're unlikely going to meet sprint 1 because you're unlikely going to meet a company that is starting newly or starting except you meet the one that just want to move into agile newly, then they will start from sprint 1. So you might get to meet sprint 59, sprint 700. Just see it, take it the way you see it. That is what it is. All right. If there's no other question, then we'll move to the next thing.
So you
Sorry,
mentioned about budgeting and for the business analyst and project owner. Is there going to be like not we paying anyways, but in the course of this project, are we going to involve any financial stuff like that?
So in the course of this project, PrimeSoft is carrying this pay. Every agile or every team, be it agile or waterfall, will always want to come together, and discuss their rules and regulations. They will always come together and talk about their team contracts or their project contract. Team charter is that place where you come together, talk about how you want to do your work, talk about how the rules that will guide your work, talk about a timeline, talk about how you want to resolve issues, talk about when someone did not come in, how do we cover up for that person? The team charter is a very, very great tool for this particular issue. And some organizations don't use team charter because sometimes they feel it's time wasting. But the truth is, those that use team charter always outperform those without team charter. You see, that little time you spend creating your rules, your team contracts, that little time you spend doing it will save you a lot of trouble going forward. And it is important to understand that your team charter is a live document. And what is team charter? So a team charter is a live document that teams utilize to organize their purpose, their objectives, their roles, expectations, and guidelines. I'll take it again. Team charter is a live document that teams utilize to organize their purpose, the objectives, the roles, expectations, and guidelines. These things are the contracts that guide them together, that help them execute their job effectively. And there are some components of team charter. So we'll call it components of a team contract. Now, there are 8. I mentioned 8 here, but I want to encourage you. It doesn't have to be this. Your team decide what they want. That's their freedom. Your team will decide what they want in their team charter. When you create your team, you sit down and talk about what you want to sign on as contract for your team, and everyone will need to adhere to it. So this is not cast on stone. When you start designing your own team charter, you can choose what you want from here and what you do not want. It is up to you. So let's move on. So what you have here is team goal. So in a team charter, you're encouraged to keep it very brief. Keep what you want very brief. Don't say so much stories. If you can keep it a maximum of 2 sentences, that will work. So on the team goal, example of a team goal is this. Our team goal is to aim to deliver functional application or define functionalities within each sprint. So that's the example of a team goal. You choose what your team goal could be. You want to deliver at least 90% of the product backlog items. That could be your team goal. And not another team goal could be you just want to go and have fun in that work. There's no other thing. So you define your team goal and you state it explicitly on your team charter. Then the next one is team leadership. Now, team leadership is not something you want to kill yourself about. You as a team decide whether to have a leader or not to have a leader. But if you do decide to have a leader that will guide you, then this leader will act as, so the example I have here is Claire Kingsley will act as our team coordinator, responsible for integrating inputs and sending reminders as needed. Claire is not a boss, but a facilitator. So the leader you elected or you appointed is not the boss. No one is the boss there, but you just want things to move smoothly. That's why that leader, and so that leader cannot act as a boss, cannot order everyone around, but need to facilitate inputs, need to send reminders to everyone, encourage everyone to do their job, and organize things in order. So the next is team communication. A very important part of team charter or team contract is your team communication. You agree as a team to know how many times you want to meet and when you want to meet, where the platform you want to use for your meeting and your collaboration tool. You can use tools like Excel, you can use Google Sheets, Miro, and so many other tools out there. There are several of them out there. So example I have here is we commit to meeting 2 to 3 times weekly via live team sessions, specifically on Tuesdays at 3 p.m. GMT. Our chosen collaboration tool is Miro. Simple. It tells you when how many times you meet in a week, and there's that a particular day you must always meet, the time you need to meet, the medium with which you meet, and their collaboration tools. It's as simple as that. 2 sentences, you're done. If you can bring it to 1 sentence, that is excellent. So the next is team role. Now, there are some mistakes some organizations, some people make or some team make. They come in, they say, okay, Kingsley, you're from the data handle data team. Bernard, you are from the QA handle development team. No. So what we encourage is roles need to be assigned based on functions rather than specific departments. So in a situation where you have like 5 departments, you need to assign roles so that everyone will be part of every department. This is going to help in having a form of oversight function for one another. So when one person messes up, another person is able to catch up with that and correct it. Yes, another person will be able to see it and correct it. That's the whole idea behind this. Sorry about this. So now the next is what if? What if? This was something I discussed yesterday. If someone was sick, what if Kingsley did not do his work properly? What if Chika went to plagiarize? What if? How do you manage such situation? What if there is conflict? What if there is poor performance? These are things you sit down and structure how you are going to do it. That's how you sit down and structure it and how you're going to do it. So what I have here is members' contribution. If a team member needs to be absent, prior notification to the team is mandatory. So you need to tell your team in advance if you have to be absent so that someone will cover it. You don't want the project not to proceed, not to continue because you have poor internet network like we did yesterday during our retro. You don't want your team to fall behind because you are sick. You need to always reach out. I am not okay. I'm a little bit under the weather. Please take note so that the leadership will be able to adjust and cover up with it. Poor performance. So individual with substandard performance will need to redo their work. If you have stated it explicitly like this, as soon as you see that that work was plagiarized, you see that that work is not correct, it's because you have it as a rule, the person will need to redo it. Simple as that. So the next is decision-making process. So you could choose any method of decision-making process. It could be autocratic, it could be democratic. It depends on what you want, what works for your team. Remember, no one is bad on its own. No method is bad on its own. So what we have here is any method that works for you, use it. The most important thing is the big picture, delivering the project at the time, within the timeline, and with the expected quality. So if you want to go for consensus-based decision making, you could have something like decision this is a decision when team members agree on a realistic deadline based on individuals' workload. So that's how you go about it. Democratic is that you vote to decide which project management to adopt based on majority's preference. So you choose your decision-making process. Is it consensus-based? Is it autocratic? Is it democratic? It's up to you to choose what works for you. So in terms of the autocratic, you could say the leader who you have voted in or appointed should take that decision. And when the leader takes that decision, everyone will need to adhere to it. Timeline and milestones. Example of timelines and milestones here is we agree that it's going to be measurable. We're going to have a measurable milestone. So we're going to assess ourselves based on certain criteria we put to ourselves. Are we able to complete up to 100% of the work? So reach specific products, features or functionalities completion percentage by certain dates. So you need to tell yourself, so when you say measurable, you need to achieve a certain goal within a certain time. Measurable needs to be time bound. You can't say you want to complete it and something that you are supposed to complete in a week, you're taking 2 months to do it. That's not being measurable. So you need to, the example, like I said, is reach specific product feature or functionalities, functionality completion percentage by starting date, like 50% feature completion by the end of the month, or 100% feature completion by the end of the sprint. It's up to you. Team appraiser. So weekly peer evaluation will be conducted objectively and honestly. Now, the thing about team appraisal is this is not the appraisal that happens from the, let's say, from the C-level executive. This is within your team. And you're going to be judged. If you don't have an appraiser on ground and you say everyone is doing well, but the project is not going on well, you are saying nobody should be replaced in our team, or our team does not need any improvement, but yet nobody is underperforming, but yet the work is not going on as planned. So this is where you need to define what you want in your team appraisal. So weekly peer evaluation will be conducted objectively and honestly. At this time around, when you go to your work, you easily make friends. You easily make friends. So at this time around, if your friend is in your team, no no sentiments. If you have your rules stated there, therefore, at this point, you will not look at your friend when you are making decisions. So rating will reflect individuals' performance, not personal relationship. You rate even that your closest friend based on their performance. So lack of communication or effort will impact rating with a scale of 1 to 5. So this is just an example. You choose, okay, the worst rating will be, person did not perform well, the worst will be 1. The person performed great, the rating will be 5. And you don't need to be impartial, because if the team fails, everyone fails. So you have to be transparent and not, and you must be clear of every form of sentiment. So, like I said, this is just a sample, and you can always build your own. You can always build your own, contracts. So let's move on to the next one. Earlier, I stated that your team charter is a live document. Hence, you must review and update it regularly. So you don't create this contract and just leave it there. It's a live document. You will need to always update it at all time. So you see a particular thing is not really working for you, you revisit your team charter. So I will recommend us during this training to at least find out one day compulsorily in a week to visit your team charter and see what is working for you and what is not working. Because just like human beings, will keep getting better. If we work hard, we keep improving. Therefore, your team charter needs to reflect those things that are not working well. You drop them. The ones that are working, you improve, you add them, you improve on them and move on. All right, so that is it about the team contract. So in a team, there are stages of formation. There are stages of formation in a team. I will discuss this. Please take note of this. Most of your team charter meeting will be on Microsoft Teams. You're going to be using Microsoft Teams for your meeting. We only use, yes, most of your team charter team will be on Microsoft Teams. So let us pay attention to this particular formation. It's important. You're going to start seeing it come to life. There is the forming stage. There is the forming stage. The forming stage. What happened during this time? In this stage, team members are introduced, just like you're going to be introducing yourself among your team. And individuals are getting acquainted with one another. It feels like, okay, who is this? How do I know? How do I talk to this person? I hope I don't get to, talk to people in the way they don't like. So most times you're very, very polite, cautious of who to talk to, and the dependence on the leader. You're always depending on the leader to guide and direct. Because you have not known most of the people in your team. You're just very careful. And the challenges there is that a lot of things are unclear roles and responsibility. You're very, very reluctant to talk. Just like for the past 3 days, actually we started talking more today. So we are very reluctant to talk, and we are focused, and the focus is on harmony rather than productivity. That's what really happened in the formation stage of a team. You focus on, I want peace. I don't want trouble. And this somehow affects productivity. You have to face it. Then the second stage, this leads us to the second stage. You started knowing one another. We started knowing one another. And with this brings conflicts and tension. Conflict and tension starts. We start disagreeing because we started knowing someone. or the other. As a team member, as any team member express their individuality, everyone will come in and express their individuality and their differences and their opinion. A lot of us will reject, or some will accept this individuality, but that is the truth. That is the reality. There will be a lot of disagreements, power struggles, and questioning established norm or leadership. Yes, these things happen and will happen. Listen to what I said and pay attention to it. These things happen and will happen. This stage, you cannot overcome it. You can't skip it. You definitely will face it. And then at this point, the challenges will be discord among team members, resistance to authority, and difficulty in decision making. With all this, during storming stage, you find it difficult to make decisions. That's what really happened during storming stage. And after storming stage, after that time, things start normalizing. Somehow, your team begin to establish norm, started learning how to resolve conflicts, and develop a sense of unity and cohesion. Yes, this is what really happened. And what is the behavior we get from this? We have increased collaboration. We have acceptance of the roles you have been given. And this time we have clearer communication channel. And the challenges we have that are balancing individual needs with team goal will be the main challenge instead of disagreement. To adjust, everyone adjusting to their new roles and maintaining the work momentum towards the stated objective. And this time everyone is getting to normalize. What really happened? Everyone starts performing. Exactly, everyone starts performing. So at this stage, the team operates at its peak efficiency, demonstrating high productivity and synergy. The behavior here is efficient collaboration, shared decision-making, and proactive problem solving. The challenges will now be complacency, potential conflicts during work, which will always come, over goals and direction, and maintaining the high performance level. Because sometimes you have reached a particular level, now you start struggling on how to maintain that level. That's usually what happens during the performing stage. But it's important to maintain that level. And the last one, adjourning. Some organizations don't necessarily, or some teams don't necessarily experience adjourning. You get to see this usually when teams are pulled together from different departments to execute a particular contract. Most times in a contract job of, let's say, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 1 year, or even 2 years can last that long. So when they are done executing the contract, they are now redeployed to their different departments or different companies where they come from. And this time, what really happened, the adjoining stage. This stage occurs when the team disbands or completes its tasks, leading to closure. And what is the behavior everyone starts feeling? You see, those fights that started during the forming and storming stage become a very strong bond, and you don't wish this bond to be disbanded, but nature will need to take its place. So if you start reflecting on your achievements, acknowledging contributions, and possibly feeling of nostalgia or sadness. Oh, why is everyone leaving? Can we exchange a phone contact so we can hang out one of these days? Well, it is normal. So challenges is difficulty in transitioning out of the business, out of the team, handling the emotional impact of the closure, and focusing on future endeavors. So two type of formation here is, which is usually, the first one is usually what we have, where a team finishes a project, they go back and start a new project. And then the other one usually happen in contract basis, where they finish the project and the team is disbanded, everyone goes their way, and they start feeling nostalgia, So that's it about team formation stages. And we have it forming, storming, numbing, performing, and sometimes adjoining. Thank you so much. This is it about team chatter. And you know what? You will go and start forming your team on Miro now. If you have any question, go ahead and ask. Thank you.
Please, can I see the fourth stage? Can I just share the screen with the talking? Okay.
So all you need to do is this one, you can name the purpose, you can name your role. Mind you can add anything you want to add here. Your values, your agreement. You choose what you want to add in this place. So if I want to bring it closer, if you check by the side there, you will see zoom. So you can zoom it in. I just did it 100%. Let me make it this way. So if I want to bring it close to what I want, so I can move it up like this or move it sideways. Sorry, yeah, move it sideways. So if I want to concentrate on a particular card, I will just need to, maybe I want to concentrate on this one. I just focus on this one. So if you watch, this will just move. You see how it's moving, and when it moves, it doesn't look good at all. Look at this. So you can, on your own, decide to lock this or lock everything inside while you're working on it. So select everything with my mouse, then right click and lock. All right, where is lock?
Up.
Lock, exactly. So I have locked it. Now, when I try to select it, it doesn't move. See? When I try to drag it, it doesn't move at all. But if I try to drag this one, it moves. So it's up to you to want to organize your stuff. Choose how you want to organize it. If you want to lock only one thing, you select just that one thing. I'm going to unlock this one. It's not my job to unlock all. It's not my job to lock it for you. You can, if you want to type, you double click on it, and then type. You will type like this, whatever you want to type. If you want to change the color, so you don't like this color. All right, so you can change the style. Okay, select this and you go up. Look at all the task bars that are here. These things are things you can do on this work. Or somebody's already here. Chidima is already here. Okay, you see how it's flying? That's lovely. All right, so I think you guys should start coming in right away. You need to start coming in because I will soon leave you. So you need to start coming in. Chidima is here, is flying around. All right. So I selected this one. This is the color. So anything you select, this floating ribbon comes up here. All right, another person has joined. So all I need to do is to just click here and I will choose another color for it. If you want to attach a link to it, you can use this to attach the link. If you want to make a text bold, you can just click here, just like normal, highlight it and make it bold or not bold. When you click here, other things come out, then you do it this way, or you bold it. So you need to be in charge. So I have seen only 2 persons join. Blessing, Chidima, I think there are 3 persons that have joined. All right. I've seen, what is the other person hiding? Come out, please. Joshua is here. If you want to drag a new card, you can come here and drag a new card. So the card is just like sticky note, sorry. So you can come here, you can see all the sticky note. Anyone you want to drag, you can just drag and drop it anywhere you want to. And then you can then start typing on it. You need to get your hands dirty on this, do what you want to do, and then start forming your teams immediately. Start forming your teams immediately. Your keyboard shortcut also work here. All right, so if you want to bring in a table, this is where, okay, so this is templates. If you want to bring in a text here, if you want to bring another sticky note here, if you want to bring in another shape like what you have here, you don't like this, the rectangle, you can bring in the way the round rectangle, you don't like it, you can bring in this one and then do whatever you want to do. It's up to you. This is very, very handy. This is a very handy tool. So remember there are different shapes you can take from here. If you can click here to give you more shapes. Here it's an arrow. You can choose different arrow. This is a pen tool. So when you click on each of these, they bring out more functionalities that you can choose. Now, let's say I am on this, my pen tool that can allow me draw however I want. You mistakenly did it, you don't like it. You can come click on the pen tool again, take the eraser and clean it. Then I am still on the eraser. This is not what I want. If you want to go back to the mouse icon, or yes, the mouse icon. So you can come here, select, click on it. It goes back to your mouse pointer. So be careful how you drag your canvas. If you want to select, be careful because you might want to select and it will go infinitely because this is an infinite canvas. Miro is an infinite canvas. It will just keep taking you far away until you get lost. Like you find yourself in Sahara Desert and you don't know how to return. That's how to use Team. Remember, that's how to use Miro, sorry. This is undo, this is redo. I have done some things, I want to undo them. I'll just click here. You see the one I did here? Now I want to redo them, I'll remove it. So get your hands dirty, practice. If you want to comment on somebody's work, you comment on the work here. So I want to comment on this one. I will say, Joshua, please edit. So you can see there is a comment here. All you just need to just hover over it. You can see the person's name, what I just typed there, and who the person who typed it. These things are so interesting. And do we have everyone on board now? If you're not on board, let us know. You can stop recording, Chika.